Hey, welcome. You know that feeling, right? When you're carrying way too much, just completely weighed down by your own good intentions? Well, that's the story of the Ten of Wands, and today we're going to dig into what it really means to finally put that burden down. It always starts with something great, a spark of passion, a brilliant idea, a goal you're dying to achieve. But what happens when that fire gets a little too big and it starts to consume you? What happens when the very thing you wanted to build becomes this weight you just can't carry anymore?
That whole journey is the story of this card. It's all about being pushed to your absolute limit. But here's the thing. It also holds this powerful promise. The finish line, one way or another, is finally in sight.
So how does this even start? How do we get here? Well, every single Ten of Wands story starts in the exact same place, with a really good idea that just grew too big.
Okay, so this is the core of it, right here, the upright Ten of Wands. That's the moment you look around and realize your amazing good idea has turned into something else entirely. That project you were so jazzed about, that responsibility you were so proud to take on, well, now it's just an obligation that's totally draining your energy and honestly, all the joy out of it.
So what does that uphill struggle actually feel like? Let's get real about the experience of being crushed under the weight of all 10 of those wands.
You know, these feelings aren't separate things. They're like a chain reaction. Feeling constantly overburdened, that leads straight to stress and burnout. And when you're feeling that fried, it's so easy to feel taken for granted, which turns what was once a passion into just drudgery. Before you know it, you've completely lost focus, and every single day feels like this exhausting uphill battle.
Think about this at work for a second. You took on that huge project, maybe to impress your boss or prove something. But now, you're just overloaded. The enthusiasm you started with is long gone. It's been totally replaced by just exhaustion. And let's be honest, the quality of your work is probably taking a hit because of it.
And hey, this isn't just about your 9 to 5. In relationships, this card can pop up when all the fun and spontaneity have just vanished. It's that feeling that you're carrying the entire weight of the partnership, you know? What used to be a source of joy now just feels like a long to-do list of obligations.
And of course, our bodies always keep score. The Ten of Wands is a huge red flag for your physical health. That constant, chronic stress doesn't just stay in your head. It shows up in your body, leading to sickness or injury, because you're simply not making yourself a priority anymore.
But eventually, when that weight becomes truly unbearable, something has to give. And this right here is where the story takes a critical turn. You've arrived at a crossroads, and that is the energy of the Ten of Wands when it shows up reversed.
This really captures the shift perfectly. The upright card is you, just stubbornly carrying this impossible weight. But the reversed card, that's the tipping point. It's that moment where something has to give. The only question is, are you going to be the one who decides to let go, or are you going to wait until you collapse under all that pressure?
This is the question the reversed card is forcing you to answer. You are at your absolute limit. There's no more just pushing through it. A choice has to be made. So, what's it going to be?
You really only have two ways this can go. On one hand, you've got the path of release. This is a conscious choice. It's finding the strength to say no, to delegate, to intentionally put down some of those burdens. The other option? Well, that's the path of collapse. And that's what happens when you just keep pushing, carrying a cross that's just too heavy until you inevitably break down.
You know, there's an incredibly vivid phrase that describes that path of collapse perfectly. Flogging a dead horse. Just think about that image for a second. It means working so hard, but getting absolutely nowhere. It is the very definition of futile, exhausting effort.
Okay, so this brings us to the most important part of this whole message, your path forward. Because the Ten of Wands isn't just about suffering. It's about a powerful lesson in what you choose to do next.
And here is the thing you have to remember. Seeing this card is not a life sentence. It's a diagnosis. It's the universe's way of tapping you on the shoulder and saying, hey, what you're doing is totally unsustainable. But congratulations, you've actually reached the final stage of this struggle. The end is so close.
The number 10 in tarot always means completion, the end of a cycle. And that is the hidden promise in this card. No burden lasts forever. No struggle is infinite. You have officially reached the natural limit of this particular journey.
Look, at the end of the day, you are going to put those wands down. That's inevitable.
You just can't carry them forever. The only thing you actually have control over is the how. Are you going to make the proactive choice to set them down with purpose? Or are you going to wait until pure exhaustion makes that choice for you?
And that brings us to the final thought I really want to leave you with. Just take a second and really ask yourself, what are the burdens, the duties, the old ideas that you're carrying right now? Which of those wands are you finally ready to put down?